So I'm back, just finishing off my big planting day. Just popped these beetroot in here. I got the one batch of beetroot in the polytunnel. They should come first, then these should carry on. And then the whole of this bed, all these three beds here, will all be beetroot eventually after all these cauliflowers and calabrese have been harvested. So I'm putting 5 to a bed. I've mulched the beds with mushroom compost. They were, last week, there was spinach. I've just finished that spinach now because I've got loads of spinach in various different beds on the allotment. So I won't need any more as we head into spring. It's the 14th of February today. But these are quite nice plants. They're sort of fairly well on. I started these 15th of the 10th. And I've got some more that I started back in September that were over in that bed down there. So I'm going to get on with planting these. I'll show you the results, and I'll just show you then at the end of the video my other early brassicas, what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. Oh, right, let's have a rest. So yeah, I always do this, plant my overwintered brassicas out in February in these deep cold frames for a few reasons. The first one is that I like to get an autumn crop out of the cold frames and a winter crop. The winter crop was spinach. And the second reason is club root. If I started these brassicas in the ground back in sort of September, October time, club root is still active in my ground at that time of year. And these are all, none of these are club root resistant varieties. In fact, I don't think there are club root resistant varieties that you can overwinter. But at this time of year, I mean, it was -5 last night, club root isn't active in the ground, so the plants get really well established without any club root. And if they do get a little bit of club root, it's only really in May, and that is, you know, they've got big root systems, they can cope with it by then. These plants are out of these beds by May, by the end of May, and so all these beds can be replanted. I often do melons in these beds, but this year I'm just doing beetroot in all of them. And I've just done beetroot in that one at the end there, so it's all beetroot all the way through summer and back and on into winter and early spring next year. So I'll just show you the other brassica beds that I've got that are a little bit further on than these, but the same logic applies. So these are my spring cabbages and Romanesco cauliflowers. And although my spring cabbages look pretty small by comparison with if I'd put them in the ground in September, October time, it's amazing how putting them under a low cover sort of speeds up growth. And so they soon catch up basically with something that's been in the ground for all that time. And as I said, I then get the benefit of 2 more harvests out of these beds. The last harvest that I just took off this was lettuce. So this bed's slightly different. So this is red cabbages interplanted with spinach at that end and tatsoi and red senpacho at this end. Those are red drumhead. They'll be ready in about June. Continue eating those through early July. And then these are red ladero. Obviously club root is going to be really active by the time I'm harvesting red ladero because it's a bit slower growing than red drumhead. But red ladero is a club root resistant variety, so that doesn't matter. So by the time I'm finishing harvesting these, which is in August, my March sown red cabbages will be ready. So that gives me a nice continuity of red cabbages. Well, almost. I run out of red cabbage in, let's see, we're February now. I'll run out in April, and then it'll be a couple of months when I'll be on mini savoys and spring cabbages, and then we'll be back on red cabbages again. Here I've got more cauliflowers. These will be ready in early May, and down there I've got more spring cabbages. So quite a nice selection of brassicas. On the other allotment plot, my wife's allotment plot, we've got purple sprouting broccoli. So that's the flowering brassica that we're going to be eating between now and the beginning of May, and then we'll switch over to the cauliflowers at the beginning of May, all the way through May, and then we're on to cauliflowers and calabrese that we're sowing now. So there's a lot to keep track of in the way that I garden, and I've kind of got a bit of a solution for you, which is my weekly newsletter. You can subscribe to that for free down in the description below, or you can just type in steverichards.substack.com, and that gives you all the nitty-gritty details a weekly basis. So like, what am I sowing, what am I pricking out, what am I potting on, what am I harvesting, all the problems I'm having, and loads more every week. So yeah, here's these little beetroot that'll come before the ones that I've just sowed outside, and I've got some more calabrese down the middle of this bed where I've just harvested lettuces, and they will be out in May, so I can put in the tomatoes and all these beds, all these salad beds, which have all been harvested over winter and just been cleared and replanted with Asian greens and more lettuces and salad onions and calabrese and more Asian greens. So it's all going here. This will all be harvested pretty soon and replanted with more lettuce. My name's Steve, this is the Outgrow channel, and I'll see you soon.